everyone, welcome back. Today is a Sporting Blizzard podcast day, along with AFC South video going up a little bit early in the morning, but today, right now, is about podcasts with multiple topics. And the first one we're going to talk about is the big news of the weekend in Andrew Luck retired from the NFL at age 29. Now, I can't pretend to know what Andrew Luck was thinking doing this. I can't imagine what his conversation was with his wife, with his family, with his teammates. I can't imagine what the conversations were. But knowing Luck and just seeing how he portrayed himself, his press conferences, how he was talking to players during the game, he probably felt disappointed in that he wasn't able to get his teammates a Super Bowl. He probably felt disappointed for the fans who booed him off. Just seeing how Luck's personality is, he's probably felt more bad that he wasn't able to get them something in return instead of them booing him. He has proven to be one of the best players when helping the NFL. And to see him retire at age 29 in such a short career span, it's heartbreaking. Because he tried to play through injuries. He tried to do all these things. And they caught up to him way too quick. And there's something that Pat McAfee said about kind of how Aaron Rodgers learned under Brett Favre. And if you wonder where he said this, it was on the Heard I Heard It. And Pat McAfee said something that the Colts maybe should have done was keep Peyton Manning for Andrew Luck. Because even though Luck was ready to play, there was stuff Peyton would have been able to teach him, like what Favre was able to teach Rodgers. The quarterback needs to be a bit more demanding to the GM and owner. They need to demand offensive line. They need to demand weapons. Mostly have a long career. Look at Peyton Manning. Even though he had a bad last season, and it was not a good season, but he won a Super Bowl. He was able to have a great career. Look at Brett Favre, great career. Aaron Rodgers, maybe he's a bit too demanding at times, but still, great career. Knows what he wants. Andrew Luck was too nice of a guy. He wasn't going to be the guy to go storm the GM's office and demand an offensive lineman. He was going to be the guy to demand more weapons. That's just not really how Andrew Luck is. But on the other hand, if Peyton got to play and with Luck, we would not have been able to see Andrew Luck because his first couple of years was some of the best quarterback play you'll ever see from anyone, entering the league or not. Say what you want about Patrick Mahomes, Luck had a lot less talent than Patrick Mahomes. And you look how he nearly took them to the Super Bowl. Deflategate aside, I mean, they're losing that game no matter what. He nearly took them to the Super Bowl, and we almost got Andrew Luck versus Russell Wilson for the Super Bowl. Man, that would have been awesome. But now it's going to be looked back on Andrew Luck's career of strategy. He wasn't able to stay healthy for a majority of it, which due part of the offensive line. And when he was able to play, he wasn't 100%. He was taking all these shots. He didn't really protect himself a lot. And it's just a tragedy because we had one of the greatest quarterback prospects to ever enter the league. His first couple of years were dynamite. He looked legit. He looked to be maybe the most talented quarterback to ever play the game. And then injuries happened, and then injury happened, and then injury happened, and then injury happened, and then injury happened. They just kept on mounting up on him. And ultimately, you can see it devastated him mentally. And your body can handle things physically. Your body can heal. Your body heals easy. Your mind does not heal easy. Your mind needs time to heal. So, which is why I'm going to say this is not necessarily the end of Andrew Luck in football. Andrew Luck, and with what I would do if I'm ESPN or NFL Network, I'm trying to get him on. I'm trying to hire him for this season. Because what a guy you could have there breaking down plays, talking about quarterbacks. He's Stanford grad. The intelligence he would just bring to the table alone would be phenomenal. Or if you look at it, perhaps if Stanford were to come and be like, hey, if you still want to be around football, we can have you come here and start coaching. I mean, have him as a coach. Have him in the quarterback room teaching these young quarterbacks, these young high school kids that are coming over and want to learn from Andrew Luck, someone they watched and they were in love with. Imagine the effect that would have on recruiting and everything. And he's shown he knows how to play the position. He's worked with a great OC in Frank Reich, now turned head coach. Still yet to be determined if he's a great head coach. I really like him. And he can bring that knowledge to the college game, and he can work with young recruits if that's what he wanted to do. This is not necessarily the end of Andrew Luck in football. This could still just be the beginning, and only time will tell with what it is. So, Tuesday night, I was scrolling Twitter and I saw Dave Andrews of the Patriots, their center, had a blood clot issue. And that could possibly take him out for the entire season. I don't understand the full medical details of it. I'm not going to pretend I do. But here's all I know. If he misses a significant amount of time, that affects the Patriots more than losing Rob Gronkowski. Only thing that would probably be more effective is them losing Tom Brady. Dave Andrews, since starting for them, since entering the league for the Patriots, has been a monster offensive lineman. He has dominated anyone he's gone against. And you look at it, they now could be losing their starting center for week 1 of the season against Pittsburgh Steelers, who racked up a lot of sacks last year. And I'm just going to go off September. We're just going to go off the first 4 weeks. Because, like I said, I don't know the severity of it, but I do know it can cause a lot of effect. Week 2, at the Dolphins. Dolphins, they don't really seem like they should beat the Patriots. But in Miami, they somehow find a way to do. So who knows that game? Week 3 against the Jets. Leonard and Quinnen Williams up the middle without him. Oh my God. That is just dangerous right there. And you think about all the other effects. They have Ja'Kai Polite. And just, wow. The Jets' defense is much more improved with CJ Mosley behind them as well. They can get to Brady that week, especially without Andrews. Then week 4 against the Bills, maybe the most underrated defense in the entire NFL. That they don't really have any big name players except I can name Ed Oliver off the top of my head, but everyone else, it's like, who? Matt Milano. No one really knows, but it's a good, scrappy player. Tremaine Edmonds, I believe. There are so many Edmonds brothers, I kind of get their names all confused in my head. He's a young prospect, a middle linebacker who looked really good last year. You can just keep on going. Micah Hyde in the secondary, good. Jordan Poyer, good. They have a good defense and a good head coach that can develop schemes for that defense to get to Brady that week. With Dave Andrews. Without, it can be a nightmare situation. And we're just going to go one more week ahead. You look at the Washington Redskins, Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Ryan Kerrigan. The list goes on. They also have pass rushers. So you're looking at, and I'm not saying their schedule gets easier. They're going to have it against, most weeks, looking at their schedule, they're going to have to go against one dominant pass rusher most weeks. So without Andrews, without really the quarterback of the offensive line, Brady can call out protection schemes, but Dave Andrews also has to help them. You're going to have to replace something huge. And the Patriots usually start off slow in September. It could be the point the Patriots start off the year 1-3 without Andrews. It doesn't seem like that big of a loss, but it's a huge loss because they need that protection schemes. Brady is not getting younger. At 40 years old, your body is not going to absorb the hits as it can when you're 20. If Brady gets hit, Brady could fall off. And that would derail the entire Pats season, which is weird to say, but it could very well happen. Now, I did see they made some trades, and of course, Belichick will figure out some way to work with this. And they have a great O-line coach whose name blanks my mind, but he's always worked well with whatever he's got. So do I think the Patriots start off 1-3? No, but I do think it affects them. Because if Brady takes all these hits, he's not going to be as good late in the year. His body will... You don't have the same ability as you do when you're 20. I mean, when you're 40 as you did when you're 20. You don't. That goes for Brady as well. Even though he looks like he doesn't age, he's not the same as he was 10 years ago. Just 10 years ago, he's not the same. And even though he's probably the smartest quarterback in the league, he's probably the smartest at picking apart a defense. When you have no time to throw, when you've got instantly in your face hitting you, you're going to feel that. And you're going to regress because each week those hits are going to mount up and your body's going to hurt. And he is the oldest quarterback in the league. I can go on and on about this. But losing Dave Andrews is more important than losing Gronk. Because that is the big guy of your offense line. That's your star of the line, and you can't go down with. And you cannot lose the star of your line. And if you want one example, a couple of years ago when the Seahawks traded Max Unger to the Saints for Jimmy Graham, their line fell apart. It could very well be the same right here. Now I want to talk about someone who I was high on at the draft, which a lot of people weren't. Someone who I thought was a future franchise quarterback, which a lot of people didn't think he was, Daniel Jones. Now listen, I am a big Daniel Jones fan. I think he's got all the potential in the world. I think he's got it, and I love him. But he should not start soon. The Giants should roll with Eli through the season. I would not play Daniel Jones unless Eli gets hurt, which due to history does not look like it's going to happen. Eli Manning is durable. He has proven that. He does not get hurt. Now, is that because he gets rid of the ball? Yeah. But he also, when he takes the hits, he gets up. So why? Why get rid of him? He's smarter than Daniel Jones at recognizing blitz schemes. He's smarter. He might not have the arm strength that Daniel Jones currently has. He might not have the legs that Daniel Jones has to escape. But he's got the upstairs knowledge. That's what you need to teach Daniel Jones. You need to teach him how to recognize these blitz. You need to teach him where to place the ball at the right time. You need to teach him all these things. Why do you think Patrick Mahomes is working so well in KC? It's because they taught him these things under Alex Smith. They didn't rush him out there like, oh my God, we gotta get rid of this guy. Let's put him out there. No, because Andy Reid knows what he's doing. Shermer, I think, wants to play Daniel Jones, but I don't think that's the right move. I think you roll with Eli. Even if you start off 0-5, do not start Daniel Jones. You roll with Eli Manning. Now, winning a couple games this year, that sounds great. But you know what sounds better? Having long-term stability at the quarterback position with Daniel Jones. Instead of rushing him out there and putting him out there before he's not ready. Having him try to recognize blitz schemes when he's not ready. Daniel Jones needs to sit for a couple years. Maybe just 1 year. I think Daniel Jones can sit for 1 year, play next year. But Eli's your guy this year. And this Giants team's not bad. They can challenge for a wildcard spot. You got Saquon Barkley, you got Zyfer, you got good defense, you got Golden Tate after 4 games, you got Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram. They got a talented team. No way should this team start off 0-5 to put them in position to start Daniel Jones. They shouldn't. But even if they do not start him. Stay the course, ride the ship out, stick with Eli Manning. I want to talk about college football. And I have an issue with something. It's called Week 0. Week 0, I think, should go away for the big games. For, your ranked teams. When you have a top 25, I don't think any one of those teams should play Week 0. Because all you have to do is look at last week's game between Miami and Florida. Those 2 teams both deserve to lose that game. And why is that? I don't think both teams were ready. I think both teams needed another week to prepare. I think both teams struggled at making some tackles. Miami did much better than Florida. Florida had a lot of missed tackles. And could that be coaching? Yes. But then I saw the same issue in the Arizona-Hawaii game. And it really made me start thinking, how important is week 0? Can't we just have FCS teams play week 0? Just kind of get everyone excited. Look, here's a little preview. Look, you got Nicholas State. Oh, look, you got Jacksonville State. Maybe throw NDSU out there. South Dakota State. Eastern Washington, Weber State, Cal Poly, etc. Those teams. Get them excited for football. But don't put your heavyweights out there immediately. Don't, because then you have that sloppy mess. And now you have everyone like, oh my god, this Gators team's awful, and oh man, those Hurricanes, they're bad. Both teams are good. The Gators have a good defense. They got a lot of sacks. They miss tackles. Gators make those tackles, they probably win by 20 points. Gators don't turn over, they probably win by 20 points. Miami, just their line could not protect. And that could be starting to freshman offense linemen. That could just be it. But it didn't look good no matter what. They had a lot of false start penalties. They had a lot of delayed games. Too many men on the field, I think, happened. And there's not just delayed games with the offense. They had delayed games on special teams. Positions you don't want to have happen. It was sloppy football. Which makes me really think week 0 is not something we need for FBS. It's not. Maybe if you just want to throw like Texas State out there or something. It's just really small teams. Sun Belt Conference games. MAC football. CUSA football games. Small football games. Instead of going straight into ACC versus SEC. Florida, Miami. Because we got a sloppy mess of a game. That fourth quarter, neither team deserved to win. Neither team deserved to win. Miami deserved it least, as it proved. Now, can you still have good ratings week 0 without a big-time game? No, you won't achieve Florida, Miami, but you can still achieve good average ratings. For example, you put, and I'm just going to use Mountain West Conference teams as an example. You put Wyoming versus Utah State up there. You put those two teams. Not really the sexiest matchup, but it's a football game. It's a football game between two teams that people know of. People know of Wyoming. People know of Utah State. Maybe you do Wyoming versus BYU. They know BYU. You just put that recognizable name from a smaller conference so you don't embarrass your larger conferences. Because now the Gators, they're going to have a test to prove, and you can't tell until week 3 because week 2 they play UT Martin. I don't exactly know who the Hurricanes play week 2. But now you have both teams that need to prove something, and they shouldn't be in the situation in the first place. And now you look at it. Maybe you can put Alabama versus Duke on because that's not going to be a competitive game this Saturday. That's not going to be competitive. But you're going to get a better Alabama coach team. You're going to get a better Duke coach team because they had that extra week. These are still a lot of, when you play freshmen, they are high school kids coming on to a college campus. They really haven't even taken a first day in class. Then you're just going to throw them right out there and play football. Now tell me, how is that wise? I vote that you change week 0 to mainly all FCS, and if you want to do an FBS game, you do it at a lower conference. You don't do SEC, ACC, Pac-12, Big 10, Big 12. You eliminate the Power 5. You eliminate them. Maybe throw American out there. But in order to have successful ratings, and I'm not calling successful ratings, I mean average. Around average ratings is successful for week 0 in my mind. I think you can do that with taking out the Power 5s and replace them with the American Conference.